that anywhere close to last year. 6, Seahawks.
All right. The Vikings drop a spot to number 10. The Bills drop a spot to number 9. The Titans are up 3 spots to number 8. Now,
Respect.
look, dude, you don't
They're
want to play
killing
this
it.
team. You don't want to
I
play
know.
this team.
There-
There is
there's
not
that
a
one
single
team in the whole
AFC team
playoffs.
that wants to see this team in the playoffs, period. They're literally calling other teams and saying, what player at the bottom end of our roster can we cut and get you to the waiver wires to help you beat the Titans? Nobody wants to see this team. I'm sorry.
No?
It's just the damn truth. The Patriots are down a spot to number 7. The Chiefs, they actually flip-flopped. They're up a spot to number 6.
Now, I dropped the Seahawks out of my top 5 because that loss to the Rams was bad. Like that wasn't just a loss, like they just lost by a little bit. The Rams went from wire to wire leading this game, and they kept the pressure on Russell Wilson the whole game. He couldn't get the ball past Jalen Ramsey. I mean, literally, this Seahawks team just beat a 49ers team a couple weeks ago, folks. And they just beat a good Vikings squad as well the week before. And then they put up a stinker against the Rams. I believe you. That's why I dropped them.
There's things about the Seahawks in particular, Russell Wilson, that why I never consider him like this super elite quarterback. He's really good, but like I've told you, he is this goal. Like he is what I saw in Wisconsin. He's gotten more mature and smarter because obviously, I mean, that's just asinine to think he hasn't.
I mean,
but
I
his
agree with
football,
the point of the
way he
Seahawks
plays
where
football,
there's not enough talent.
the way he plays football, he hasn't evolved much.
Well, I mean, literally, he had He had no touchdowns at all. It took a Quandre Diggs interception return to the house to get a touchdown on the board for the Seahawks. Other than that, it was field goals. They couldn't do anything. Number 5, I got the Chiefs. That Patriots win in Foxborough, folks. This wasn't in Kansas City. This was in Foxborough in December. Big win for the Chiefs. I think they're going to get the 11 wins here, and they're going to be a team no one wants to face in the AFC either because they're getting their rhythm back.
They
Mahomes'
have the
knees feeling
potential,
better.
honestly, of knocking the Patriots out of the 2 seed and making the Patriots play in wild card
That's
weekend,
what I'm saying.
Which, by the way,
They're horrible in.
under Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, they have never won on wild card weekend.
Nope. Jets were one of the teams that knocked them out, I believe, when they had Mark Sanchez. Also, 5 at Chiefs. I got to get back to him on this. The defense has been stepping up too.
Yes.
Like
Very
Bashaud
impressive.
Breeland, the guy we mentioned on Sunday night. What a play. To sit there and shadow a wide receiver and then just knock it out of Edelman's hand at the last second. Beautiful play. The defense, Honey Badger's been stepping up. Frank Clark, Chris Jones, been killing it. There's so much more to mention on there, but I'll move on. Number 4, the Saints. I can't take them out of my top 5. They're still a talented team, but I mean they're one of those guys in the NFC that I think is going to be in the playoffs, but they're going to be a wild card. I just think that people say, oh yeah, your defense is good and it's elite. How do you give up 46 points in your own house? That's I get the 49ers are good, but that's the Saints defense that people have been raving about all year. Sorry, they dropped a spot on that. Number 3, I got the Packers. People are like, well, we got the Packers. They only beat Washington. Well, guess what, folks? This is the same Washington team that just beat a pretty decent to good Carolina team last week. Christian McCaffrey's on there. It's kind of good. There's still other weapons on there. There's still Luke Kuechly. There's still people that Washington beat on that Carolina team. And they had a 2-game win streak going into Green Bay. So it's not like they haven't done anything. And Washington, folks, they still tried to come back and win the game, and Packers still held them to 15 points. Their defense is showing up when it matters in December. Well, yeah, their offense. Yeah, guess what? Their offense is good enough to win, even while their defense is doing the job. Sorry, they're a better all-around team. Aaron Rodgers, elite quarterback. Aaron Jones is showing up as running back 1 and wide receiver 2. Boom. Defense creates turnovers and gets sacks. I don't know what else you need to put there as an all-around team. I just feel if this team gets a bye in this number 1 or number 2 seed, Jay, I know you can agree no one wants to go into Lambeau in January, especially because Rodgers is one of the few quarterbacks to know how to throw
these teams
in that
are
weather.
going to be in there are warm weather or dome teams. This is not a balanced playoffs the way it's breaking down. You're either in the West Coast in San Francisco, good weather. You're the Saints, you're a dome team, Southern team. So even if you're not in the dome, you walk outside, it's nice out. You got the Seahawks, West Coast, up north. It's not that bad there in the winter. It's pretty.
It's more
warm.
rain than snow.
Yeah, it's not. But I mean, it's not hot, but it's not cold. I mean, it's not cold. It's not like coming to Lambeau.
It's not negative 13 plus 10-degree wind chill cold.
Dallas is a
dome
Southern
team,
dome
warm team.
And then what would be the other wild card? The Vikings. They're a dome team.
Dome team. Yep. And guess what? We already beat them in Green Bay earlier this year. Number 2, giving it to the all-time NFC team right now. Number 1.
And FYI, just as a caveat, if the Rams happen to make it somehow, West Coast,
another
warm
West
weather
Coast
team.
warm team. Number 2, 49ers, top NFC team. They just went into New Orleans and smoked that Saints secondary. I got to give it to them. Jimmy Garoppolo went toe-to-toe with one of the great quarterbacks in Drew Brees and out-dueled him to get the W. Guy showed his cojones, and he's carrying them around in a couple bags because they're so damn big. Also, enough who's the best tight end. I respect Zach Ertz, but George Kittle is the best tight end this year.
Oh, my
Good
God.
Lord.
The guy dragged somebody 16 and a half yards when he was ripping his face the opposite direction. Come on already. Show
He
man
just kept stiff-arming him.
No, he wasn't just stiff-arming him. He literally yanked his neck to help pull himself.
I'm not talking about the defender. I'm talking about Kittle. If you go watch it, he kept stiff-arming him
while
the guy was trying to
also yanking his neck back like he could assert himself, but he was like he was putting it all. It was, I don't know. That, honestly, I will not be surprised if at the award ceremony or the ESPYs, that's play of the year.
Oh, without a doubt.
That was awesome. Awesome.
With also, side note, catch of the year, Terry McLaurin's touchdown catch in the Packers game. Catch of the year.
Left-handed, and he's right-handed, by the way.
And he pirouetted between 2 defenders.
That was pretty impressive, even though it was against Packers. It was nice. That was
Savage?
awesome.
No, Savage was in the perfect position.
That was a you got mossed with one hand.
I don't even think Moss could have pirouetted like that.
Oh, man, that was
McLaurin's going to be special, dude. That guy is
played
special.
college ball together. That's going to be a
I know. They played at Ohio State. I know.
Watch to the, it's going to be interesting.
Also, number 1, leaving it is Baltimore Ravens. We're going into Buffalo. Tough place to play. A team trying to catch up to the Patriots. They were hungry. Dude, that's a really good team. They're an all-around good team. Josh Allen, he's not this barn burner QB, but he does it. But that's what I'm saying. They got a top defense. You got Devin Singletary, Cole Beasley, John Brown, Frank Gore, Dawson Knox.
Okay.
He's got weapons, and he uses them.
Since we brought up Josh Allen, I'm sorry. This year will be a tie for play of the year because that Josh Allen fumble, pick it up, force his way on 4th down and 1.
Play right there.
I'm sorry. That in the Kittle play, you can wrap that shit up and market it over and over and over again as the way to market the NFL, and you couldn't say it any better. That's called heart determined.
Fumbles his own snap, picks it up, and marches forward 3 yards and carries defenders.
Those 2 plays tell you everything about what football is. Seriously, think about it.
Think about it. No one gave these guys a chance to be top plays of the year this year either.
Nope.
Number 1 Ravens, man. I know I was hyping up the Bills through that, but the Ravens are good, man. They are going to rep the AFC in the playoffs. I don't think, man, Baltimore is a tough place to play, folks. You got the ocean wind coming in off of there. You got the freaking cold weather naturally coming in.
There's a way to beat them, though. The Chargers showed it, but nobody has managed to pull it off or be committed to it.
I know. They have a spy on Lamar Jackson the whole time.
But you know that spy thing won't work anymore because he's become too. That worked because he wasn't a developed enough
Oh, you're
passer
talking
because he
about
hadn't.
dropping at everyone in coverage.
No, I'm talking about hitting everybody in the backfield, including him, so they quit putting that read option, and you force him into traditional offense where you know the handoff, the runs are going to Ingram or a back, and otherwise it's a passing play where he's dropping out in the pocket, and then you can put a spy on him. Right now, a spy's wasted because they've shown it. They've played the spy thing, and the spy gets frozen in the mesh point, and then he's just sitting there doing nothing. Like, you have
There's
to
two
commit
defenses
early
I can see
on
that
to
do
just
to Lamar
smacking
Jackson.
everybody in the backfield, including the quarterback, even if it takes penalties early.
Two defenses that can do that to Lamar Jackson. Buffalo, because they showed they can do it in the Ravens and Buffalo game last week. Buffalo just came up a little short, but I tell you what, in the playoffs, I think they fix it. Two, the Titans. That defense is fast, and they hit like a freaking ton of bricks.
See, those are good calls. See, so that's all I'm saying is I'm giving
Cameron
the Ravens
Wake,
a respect.
Aaron
They
Landry.
deserve it. They've earned it. But
Yeah.
there is a way to beat them, and you have to commit and have the personnel, too.
There's a way to beat every team, but the thing
no.
it's how big the margin is.
That's my point, though, is nobody
Yeah.
I said it with the caveat, but nobody has, like, I'm not the smartest guy, like, that's thought of this. Nobody has committed to it or decided it. No, come on. Know that. Just saying.
You should know the mood I'm in tonight. Come on now.
Oh,
Come on now.
Okay, so
Give
it's
me your
my
top
turn.
five.
I got the Saints at number 5 down the spot. They're the number 3 seed anyway right now in the playoffs. So
They get a playoff game in New Orleans, and that's a tough place to play, folks. San Fran got a big win there.
and then number 4 down 2 spots is the Seahawks. Look, they don't scare me as far as the Packers playing them in the playoffs.
Didn't fall out of your top 5?
No, because I don't penalize them as much because the Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the 49ers, and the Rams seem to just smack the crap out of each other. That division eats each other up. Home and a road, it does not matter. You can't. There's like really no home field advantage with those 3 teams over the last 4 years. So I don't take that as a big a blow. The Seahawks are still going to be a team that's probably going to, it's a matchup that's bad for other teams. I just don't. I'm confident the Packers have played them enough, had enough bad stuff. They don't bother me as a Packer fan as that matchup. But other teams, they play them tough, man. Like, I don't think the 49ers want to see the freaking Seahawks. Like, if the Seahawks were a wild card.
No, division rival in that playoff? Ooh.
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, so to me, they're still top 5 team because if they're in the playoffs, even if they're the 5 seed, like they are right now, and they win on wild card weekend, because let's be real, they'd be playing Dallas. If they're the 5 seed, Dallas is going to be the 4 seed. They're playing Dallas. Do you think Dallas really wants to see the Seahawks? Seahawks are going to go down to Dallas and whoop them up. And then they're going to go to the 49ers. The 49ers don't want that crap, even if it's at home, because they beat them at 40. Yeah.
If the Seahawks would beat Dallas and we're number 2, they would go up to Green Bay.
Well, because if the 4 seed, it'd be the 4 and the 6 left, is what I'm saying. Or the 4 and the 5. The 3 and the, it'd be the 3 and the 5.
The 4 would be
left.
Dallas.
Right, but the 3 would lose to the 6. Right? Yeah, that's right. They would be going to Green Bay. Well, then it still wouldn't matter. Because at Green Bay, I'm not afraid of them coming to Green Bay.
Nope, it's if we went to Seattle, that's where I don't want to play.
I'm not even afraid of going to Seattle because I think that they can beat them there, too. They've been beatable there.
We lost last year when they had the same roster, man.
So, all right, and then I have the Packers up 2 spots at number 3.
And we got.
It is what it is, man. Number 2 up a spot is the 49ers. I mean, they're beasts. Let's be clear. I'm not real impressed by a defense, even if it is on the road, giving up 40-plus points at any point in the season if you're elite, but it is what it is. They still beat the crap out of most of the NFC teams they've played other than their division rivals, so And then, of course, not moving anything is just like we discussed. It's the Ravens. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, just because I